I literally in the last 2.5 weeks, I haven't been returning calls. The fact that you're even getting return texts from me is a miracle.
It's a miracle.
Yeah, only my inner circle people.
So we're on, buddy. Yeah.
Hey, this is what I miss about you producing mine.
Right.
Because you're so sneaky.
You don't have to do all the work.
I know. And I don't have to do all the work.
Push all the buttons. So, and you are again?
I am Danielle Stroble.
Danielle Stroble.
I am
co-founder
and director of Keller Street CoWork.
It's hard to hear co and not just on a side note, my mind instantly went to COVID.
That's true. Well, we are COVID free here at Keller Street
COVID Street CoWork.
Yeah, I don't think I like that. And also co-host of the I'm Not Gonna Lie podcast.
I know, I'm not gonna lie. Which is kind of smoking.
Yeah, we're kind of blowing things up right now. We've had a pivot.
I'm a little jealous. No, the pivot's been great.
Yeah, it's still a work in progress, but it's settling in quite nicely. And you know me, I kind of like just go with the flow. I'm not a go with the flow person generally, but as far as the podcast,
no, you're not.
I've been kind of go.
You're playing
with the flow.
well with others.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I'm finally playing well with others.
Can I be totally a chauvinist asshole?
Of course. Why
I mean, I can't. I know what else is new.
Okay.
I can't believe 4 women can agree on anything. I mean,
and we agree on almost everything, but we do have different shades of gray in every
tell me
topic.
about the pivot.
So the pivot, here's what
I'm alluding to things that people
people
know about.
Probably don't understand. So we know before, Not Gonna Lie was myself as a host in the beginning, in the first iteration. Phil, you were a producer, right? And then I took over. And I was doing one-on-one interviews, and then COVID hit and exhaustion hit and all of the things. So I kind of took a break. And then when we came back, I came back as co-host with 3 other co-hosts, Andrea Sundahl, Nina Jarnum, and Kelly Delario. And they're all 3 local here in Petaluma. And
God, they're wacky.
We are wacky for sure.
Well, it's a wacky combo, I think.
I think so. The way it came about is just.
I mean, it's not like the 4 you got together and went, oh, let's do a podcast.
No,
I mean, you had actually guested with some of the other ones.
I had interviewed 2 of them as guests at one point, and these 3 women basically became my pod during the COVID times, right?
Isn't that for killer whales? Pods?
Yes. So we would get together once a week or so and, have cocktails, and we're all women over 40, and none of us are afraid to give our own opinions, and we're not afraid to unfilter the truth. And so basically what we decided was these conversations were so much fun that we would do them on a microphone because really, if people are not already having these conversations, these are the conversations that women wish they were having with each other.
Right.
And so there's kind of nothing off the table.
It's very honest, and it's very, the first one I listened to, I was really impressed with how forthright everybody was, I guess is one way to say it. And but how sincere and real. You know?
It's real. There's some vulnerable moments. These girls don't filter, nor do I, and you knew that. I will say this is funny.
That's not entirely true. I think all of you have a lot of tact as well. I mean, it's not some big curse raunch fest.
I mean, it gets there sometimes, but that's usually in the second
hour. I know, but there's a reason for it usually.
Yeah, it's not just raunchy for the sake of raunchy.
For the sake of being crazy.
It's really it's really in the language and the voice that we have, generally speaking, outside of the podcast studio.
No, I feel like I'm on the back porch when I'm listening, right? I feel like I'm on the back deck with I'm just a fly on the wall, but the 4 of you drink, and you guys are drinking and just talking.
Yeah.
It's
a real deal.
Yeah. You know what? This is a side note. This is probably edit this out. I took my kids camping once to the KOA in town just for fun. Right.
Yes.
And of all things, the true story, we were camping next to a group of like 10 lesbians who were all in their like early 20s coming up from the city. And I don't know how that happened, and so the kids, they're kids, right? And they were a lot younger then. It was like 3 years ago. They fell asleep. They're in the trailer. They're falling asleep. I'm sitting outside by the fire just drinking a beer, and they're telling the stories of how they knew they were gay or their first gay experience.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That would have been a nice place to be a fly on the wall for sure.
Which isn't the, it's not the camping trip I expected, I guess.
But it was fun.
But it reminds me of that.
That's the experience. Like you're just, I'm glad you say that. That is a great compliment to me. Like when somebody tells me, and interestingly enough, we have had more feedback from men than we have from women so far. And it wasn't necessarily, not that wasn't the intention, but it wasn't, these aren't conversations that were directly driven toward men, but they're finding insight into the conversation. It's like they're learning how the female over 40 brain works at this point.
Yeah.
And also we're, like I said, we've gotten to a point where we don't care what other people think about us. We're good people. We're honest people. We're respectful people. And we're having these real conversations. We're just doing it on a microphone now. I will say in the beginning, we were doing them on Monday evenings, and then we were going over to the Shuckery after for more drinks.
Like an after
and
show.
Dinner. Yeah. To just kind of chill out. And we were talking, and one woman who was sitting at a table, well, obviously it was at least 6 feet away because it's COVID times, but she came up to us and she was like, I just want to say, I wish that I had girlfriends like you. You guys are just having the best conversation ever.
Well, you guys are lucky to have each other.
Yes, it really is luck. And I think, luck to a point where these women came, at least for me, came into my world unexpectedly. I think it's more than luck that we kind of hang on to each other because and what's interesting, you think the conversations on the podcast are great and awesome. You should see our text threads.
Oh no.
Which are literally going on almost all day, every day.
Really?
It's like, it is.
So that's kind of one of those silver linings of COVID then.
For sure.
I mean, it might not have happened otherwise, right?
Yeah. And so now we've got a different format, a little bit different than I had before. And suddenly we're pulling in all of these sponsors. So we're in the middle of a big giveaway, and we've had these sponsors donate products for us to give away.
Isn't the show itself a giveaway?
It really is. It's a good gift for Christmas, for sure.
An ear gift.
I love that women and men alike are enjoying it. And I would love it if when people are listening, they would like potentially engage in some way or another, whether it's sending in questions or whatever, because one thing that
you know what I've been doing, and this actually goes back to the first time we ever talked on a microphone, but with Instagram, because like stories, other than just viewing stories, I'm now, if somebody puts a story up, I'm now commenting, which is just a direct, it goes straight to them. It's not like you're on a thread or anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. We should do some questions like that. I think,
try that in the stories, because so I'll see somebody put something up and I'll go, hey, that's cool. Thanks for putting that up. And people are like, what? Like,
who's this person?
You interacted with my story?
It's been fun. It's really been fun. And I feel like the one thing is, while it's very honest and open conversations amongst friends, it feels like we're doing something bigger than that. And I don't know how to quantify that.
You don't have to. You'll ruin it if you try to.
Probably. It's probably true. But
I want you to overthink it and then dissect it and then analyze it.
I think that's why it's doing well, is because we're not doing that. We're literally just
do that. Take it all apart and figure it all out.
And then ruin it.
That's what I do.
Yeah. So that's the Not Gonna Lie pivot. It's been really fun.
You were talking about a giveaway. So what's the giveaway? And all these sponsors. So first sponsors.
The sponsors. So this current giveaway, which we just started yesterday, and we'll draw, I don't know when you're going to publish this, but the 15th is when the drawing is going to be.
Yeah, who knows?
So, so if it's after the 15th when you hear this, sorry for your luck. We have Derma E, which is a national skincare brand. We have a couple of wellness.
Tell me about the Derma E a little bit.
The Derma E is skincare. It's all vegan. It's super awesome. You can get Derma E in Whole Foods and wellness stores like that. So we're giving away a skincare kit.
I'm thinking a lotion, or is it like a
facial skincare, like cleanser and lotion, and that type of thing. We have an acupressure mat, which is to die for.
Really?
And I'm going to opt not to say the brand name, unfortunately. And I'll give you all of the links for your podcast.
Well, you can tell me.
Because I can't pronounce, I haven't learned how to pronounce it yet. And I'm embarrassed. I'm so embarrassed to even say that yet, but I will learn before we do the drawing.
So
it's an acupressure mat. So it's got, it's probably like, I don't know, we're gonna test the or so.
Descript editing right now and say the name of the brand is beep.
Yeah, there we go. I'm going to just snap.
And then we'll just put it in.
And the acupressure mat by...
And then we'll do it in the Siri voice. We'll let the computer say it.
So there's the acupressure mat. And then Nina, who is actually one of the co-hosts, she is a badass yogi, and she is donating a 1-month subscription to her membership for online yoga. And with a membership, it's great because not only do you get the live classes, but she sends you the recordings. So if you can't, do the class times that she's got on Zoom, you can do it later.
Oh, that's awesome.
Which is what I end up doing. And then so what did I say? Oh, the fourth thing. I felt bad. Gift certificate.
The gift certificate.
Good Vibrations.
Oh boy.
Yeah. The sex toy store. And we talk about those types of things on Not Gonna Lie quite often.
Is that the second hour?
That's the second hour. Yeah. Our podcasts are really long, but first hour is none of them are super buttoned up, but the first hour is way more low key than the second hour.
Because sometimes I get into an episode, but I don't make it all the way to the end because then I move on to something else, or the kids break something, or.
Well, and for sure, this podcast is not for little ears. I mean,
little ears,
not even maybe for teenagers.
The one thing is you don't ever have to worry about your daughter listening.
Yeah, right. Because she's already established she refuses.
She's so cool that it's like, I'm not listening to mom's
podcast. Yeah. So those are the 4 items for the giveaway for this month. And then in January, we're going to do another one, which is going to be quite amazing as well. So we're just still finalizing the last sponsor on that one. But it's been great. All of these companies have given us product to test, and then they're giving us product to give away. We're just getting ready to start something with a cannabis company product, which is
like awesome. A CBD or like a gummy.
Well, I can't say too
much.
Like
spaghetti sauce. Yeah, you don't want to give it away. Save some stuff for
we're going to test out that product first before we start endorsing it. So yeah, it's been great.
So I followed Nina on Instagram, and it's usually her doing yoga in front of some crazy, beautiful backdrop.
Yeah.
And so I made a wisecrack on one of her.
Oh, you did.
She's all balancing on one hand or whatever. And
I'm
I go,
not joking. That girl can. She's
and I said,
badass.
that's how I drink a milkshake. Balancing on one hand.
Yeah. Am I allowed to swear on your podcast?
Oh yeah, curse away.
I'm not sure. You know me. I'm learning.
I mean, you can say fuck and shit. And
oh, good.
Dude, I will say this: there are some potty mouths
in this room.
Yeah, this. I mean, if this studio could talk,
yeah, the walls could talk.
Actually, it can talk.
They do. We record it every week.
I know.
Sadly, we, because of this recent shutdown, we have to take a little bit of a pause.
Right. Of course.
But yeah, as soon as we can responsibly record. I'm not a huge fan of recording on the phone.
Oh, it's terrible.
So, I mean, maybe I have to make that decision if
Zoom.
we end up in
I can help out with that technically too.
Yeah, you can. All this stuff.
Make it work.
Yeah, but yeah, so that's been... Quite honestly, do you remember when we first started, you and I we would wake up on a Friday morning and be like, oh
it's
my
a
God,
podcast day. I know.
Day, right? And super excited.
God, I haven't felt that in a while.
I hadn't either until I started recording with these girls. They brought the joy back for me. Also because I told them I wouldn't do it unless somebody else did the social media. So, I mean, Nina's got a huge following and she's so good with that. And all 3 of them know what they're doing. So luckily, I'm doing all the production work, but they're doing the social media. So
is Kelly
Delario?
Kelly Delario.
Yeah.
Is she a photographer?
She is.
Well, where are the pictures
of her?
Well, she can't
pictures.
Well, she can't take pictures of the 4 of you because would be in the pictures.
Right. She wouldn't be in the pictures. Right. And also, I like to record with the mood lighting, unlike you who has all of the fluorescent lights on right now.
Balls.
But the mood lighting is not conducive to great photos.
No, it's awful.
And also, you know what? When we record, we're in here like Sunday morning. Nobody's combed their hair and we're wearing like yoga pants.
You need an NGL photo shoot is what I'm saying.
We are going to do that. And Kelly will actually spearhead that. And she's the magic around, behind the camera. And so we just haven't had the time and we didn't want to wait to start the podcast for photos.
Oh, yeah. No.
So we will do that because we were talking about here's what happened. Actually, the truth is.
And to be honest.
We got down to like, what are we wearing? And then we were all like, I'm out.
Sweatshirt. I got hoodie and my.
They all look amazing.